All right, mic check. Mic check. Let me see. Let's see here. All right, we look good, right? Let me check the stream. Go live. Nice. Market looks nice and bullish already, huh? Beautiful volume. Good day, everybody. Let's get this party started, man. So this is what I'm looking at. Market looks pretty clean so far. We have, if we go to that 4 hour, you'll see what I'm seeing here. You see this it looks like price is already ripping though. Like that's the part that kind of throws it out of whack for me. Market just opened and it's already on its way. So that could lead to some shorts later, but this massive divergence off of this Monday 4 hour candle here. All right, you see that? Not even the Monday, it's more this previous weekly low here. All right, previous weekly low swept on NASDAQ, not even close to being swept on ES. All right, and then you get this break of structure higher. So this 4 hour imbalance, this is the first 4 hour imbalance in this entire leg, right? And you see price dip into it. So when we zoom into that 4 hour gap, you know me, I like the order blocks. We find this order block sitting right here that is responsible for the continuation. Price taps into it right here. See it hold nicely. All right, and it was pretty much blast off from there. So here you have it. That's your area. Look how close NASDAQ is to this area. So now that opens the door for a retest. If NASDAQ can retest this area, then I would be down for a trade idea off of here to go higher. All right, we have about 20 minutes until this candle closes here, so never know what's going to happen. Give it a chance to unfold, you know. Waiting for Obi. Not sure if Obi's joining today, but either way, let's see if we can catch a banger. If the volume is good, you know, this will be a full stream. I'll be on till about 12. If the volume starts to look a bit weak and lackluster, then I'll kill the stream because no need to be thirsty for a trade today on a Friday. All right, so cool, man. Hopefully everyone's had a good week, but I think today should be pretty clean based on this volume. I love how we're sweeping out this excuse me. I love how 930 opens. Let's go look at the 930 volume. What do you notice? 930 Judas higher looks pretty clean here. Let's go actually mark off some of these order blocks while we wait, because there are massive bearish order blocks. Look at this failed attempt to go higher here. Slams lower. Beautiful, beautiful order block here. You actually get a break of structure, a massive break of structure from this order block. And then same over here. We got these order blocks to our left that offered massive rejection as well. Tapping into that. All right. So that's the first thing that comes to mind when you see 930 open higher. You should be thinking Judas. Look at 930 right here. 930 pushes, no bottom wick on that 930 candle, no sweep lower. Now you're getting this flip. Yeah, the shorts could be the play. You just got to see how price responds to this area here. And what I'll do is I'll start marking out these targets for lower. If price wants lower, let's see what the draw could be. Boom, 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 boom. 30-minute chart. All right, look at that. So we have this London low. That's the first target, potentially. We have this, look at this 2 a.m. price, right? This is where we took the buys yesterday, understanding that this level was a pivot point. That could be a nice retest, a nice level. Where's that 2 a.m. price, bro? It's not even showing up on this chart. Come on. Settings, 2 a.m., add it in. There it is. All right. 2 a.m. Look at that pivot. Beautiful pivot. So those levels, right, are clear support. So those will be targets as well. And then you obviously have the weekly open, a nice strong pivot. So there's a lot down here that price could retest and still be bullish, right? We talked about this all week. You want to find shorts at the extremes, shorts at the highs, and then find buys at the discounted levels, at the lows, at the order blocks on the higher time frame. So I'm starting to think that maybe this could dump. We'll see. We'll see though. All right. We do give that Judas sweep higher. So let's wait and find out how 10 a.m. responds to what's going on right now, because this looks pretty weak. Lots of low resistance below. Buy side has been taken out. Previous daily high swept on ES. SMT off of that previous daily high. NASDAQ has not broken midnight price yet. Hasn't broken that previous daily high. All right, so that could be an easy short. All right, let's see what happens off of it. So for now, what I'll do is I'll just chill, wait for 10 a.m. to give us a little more clarity. And we can look around on YouTube here and see what these other traders are up to. And remember, NASDAQ is a lot weaker. So I love the fact that, let's check RTY actually. I forgot about our, look at RTY. Oh my goodness. RTY is bleeding. What's up with that? All right, so what do we see? What do we see? What do we see? We see SMT here. Oh yeah, bro. This looks like a short. So this swing high never gets taken. Sorry. So this swing high never gets taken. You can see it got taken on ES. All right. And what happens after that sweep? You get a massive short off of this order block. All right. Break structure. And then what does it leave? It leaves this as your last attempt to go higher before that break of structure. And look at what happened when Russell just taps into it. They may need like a 2 hour. There it is there. Got like that, changing the state area there. 4 hour, 1 hour. All right, yeah, so you get this up close candle right here. I'll use this one. This was a pretty strong attempt to go higher. Everything inside of this range, and then you tap into that range again, you see that rejection. So I'll delete this one up here. This one gets my attention. So with that, this low right here becomes very interesting, because if we're going to continue bearish, right? If we're going to give you a bearish trend, it's going to do this, right? That's what you should be expecting if it's bearish. Okay. All right. If we're bullish, I'm looking for a reason that we break structure. All right, there it is. Cool. So if we're bullish, you're going to see the same concept, just on the opposite side. So you do have SMT at the low. All right. We take out, what do we take out? We took out all of this over here. Yeah. So you see the weakness on the Russell. We take out these lows, and then you see that ES doesn't take those lows, right? So massive SMT there, and then you want to see that break of structure. So here goes your break of structure right here, and you have this right here as well. So this could be bullish as well, right? You see this displacement here. You don't see the gap, order block in there, but if you zoom down, I'm sure you'll find an order block sitting right inside of it. And there it is on the 5-minute chart. Here's your order block. The last attempt after breaking that weekly open, this is your last bearish candle that failed. If you zoom over, drag it over, you'll see Russell is respecting it right now. This could be bullish, yeah. All right, so you can see how you can draw both sides of the table, both sides of the narrative. And it's important to do that, right? So that you don't completely overlook the real draw on days like this, because it could be bearish, it could be bullish. Usually that power of 3 gives you the answer though. Like, so we saw this 930 open. We saw the Judas higher. Where's 930? Right here. We saw the Judas higher, and then we saw this dip into here. If the Judas higher retests this area and 10 a.m. fails to break this area, then that tells me we're bullish, right? But if we Judas higher, push lower, and then 10 a.m. starts to break through this level, then that tells me we should be looking for a lot lower. And first thing that comes to mind would be this 6 a.m. price. Should be some overnight liquidity, previous session levels somewhere in here. So yeah, see, we've already taken out London low. So it would literally be either those timestamps, that previous weekly level, 2 a.m., midnight, or it would be this previous New York session low, all the way down to this previous daily low. But it's starting to look like we're going to be bullish. I like how we're respecting this level. And then if you look over at ES, we're still pushing higher. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like this for higher. Let's see what everybody else drawing up right now. Nothing. Tanya, what are you doing? Nothing. Everybody chilling. Right, so 930 opened. Let me check my phone. Hold on, just in case. All right, cool. Let me actually check the news. I haven't even thought about that yet. Financial Juice, July 10th. Nothing on the table. All right, cool. So 930 opens, pushes higher, right? You think that's a Judas? It pushes back right down to 930 and pushes higher again. Doesn't look like a Judas higher. It looks like we might get a Judas lower here. All right. But I think 10 a.m. is going to give you a lot more clarity. Because if you look at the Russell doesn't sweep anything bullish. Over here we do. We sweep out these previous daily highs, all these swing highs to our left. All right, we get that on the NASDAQ and ES. But the Russell Judas is the opposite way. So this could be your 930 manipulation lower, and then price tries to rip higher here. Really nice change in the state right now. Yeah, this could be a skyrocket type of move off of this sweep. Sweeps these lows, flips, taps back into it right now. It's trying to do something here. But see how price responds to these levels. We got this 6 a.m. price, we got this midnight price, and I want to see how this 4-hour candle ends up closing. Yeah. I don't know if this is going to be bearish, guys. I'm just waiting to see how this 9:30 move plays out when 10 a.m. has its way. You know what I mean? Like, will 10 a.m. just rip through all of this, or does 10 a.m. hold and send price higher? We shall see. We shall see. Price seems eager to go higher, though. Like, look at it. This previous weekly high is holding nicely. Look at that 5-minute retest. Nice wick. Beautiful. Same thing here. This 2 a.m. price holding nicely. Holding nicely. Same over here with the Russell. 5-minute holding nicely. We almost could buy it. Like, if you really are eager to buy, I would be like, let me buy the Russell. Something like this. If you're super thirsty, right? So what are we getting here, bro? We got this push higher, push lower, changing the state. There we go. Now we're starting to see some volatility. There we go. Now you're starting to see that flip. All right, 7 minutes until 10 a.m. So I'm gonna wait for that. See what happens. Also, let's look at this daily power of 3 here. Let's look at the daily profile, I should say. So what have we been seeing, man? We see where's Monday? Monday open extremely bullish. Tuesday bearish. Wednesday, yeah, this is definitely bullish. All right, so you can see how you have this open higher, right? Sweep. And instead of continuing lower after breaking this Monday low, price immediately reclaims that bullishness and pushes higher. Beautiful dojis on the daily at this Monday low. So it's telling me that this previous weekly high right here is the draw, and that's exactly what happens. We take that previous weekly high right now. So now the question is, does NASDAQ take that previous weekly high as well? Or does it turn around, right? Let's see what happened over here. We had, look, we're underneath that Monday. I don't know, guys. Look at the Russell. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We slam underneath that Monday low. And now we're rejecting that Monday low here. See this weekly open? Price is rejecting it. Let's go to the 5 minutes, see how it's looking. Yeah, price rejected it. Does that mean price is done, or does that mean price will just find its way back up here shortly? It rejected the previous daily high, rejected that weekly open, slams lower. All of this happens after we take that high on ES, literally right here. At 9:30 is where ES takes that high. Look right here, literally 9:30 is where we take that high. 9:30 is where we reject on the Russell, right? So this could be bearish based on that. That's a really good note, you know. So we'll find out here very shortly. I love that the Russell is just dumping. Bias is not bullish. I'll go neutral. All right. And we go down to that 2 minute and we pay attention to how this is unfolding. About 4 minutes remaining. I'm gonna go grab some breakfast, not breakfast, some water. And I want to see. I'm really hoping the short. You guys know me. I love the shorts lately, but I think in order to short, you just need to get back underneath these levels here, underneath that previous daily, that previous weekly, underneath 930, and I think it can dump at least back down into like this 2 a.m. price or this pre-market low. You know. You do got this, have this change in the state here on the NASDAQ. Same thing over here. Nice change in the state on ES. So let's see. All right, cool. Good patience so far. Let's see what we can cook up, man. All right, here we go. 10:04. What do you guys notice? We got 9:30 opening higher, pushing down, pushing up. But look at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is respecting this structure. That's the part that's interesting, right? Russell got slapped in the face. I don't know if the Russell really wants to go higher, but Russell's about to retest the same pivot area here that price just bounced from. But then it's like, all right, so this is what goes through my brain. I'm like, this looks bullish off of like 5 minutes into 10 a.m. We see 10 a.m. respect this 9:30 failure to go lower, push up. 10 a.m. opens in that area and starts to expand, right? A little bit. But we're at these extremes. I don't know if I want to be buying it up here, understanding that we're sweeping liquidity literally every time we push higher. It's sweeping these highs, sweeping these highs. I don't want to be trading that. It's too late. These setups, I don't trust these setups. These are the ones that burn you the most. It could give you a clean buy signal here. Let's say this is where you buy. All right, let's just say this is where you buy. Put your stop down here or something. The moment we take these highs, you have to go break even because it'll reverse on you. So now this is forcing me to just hope for the short. I don't really care for buys. When you see 9:30 push higher, it doesn't really sweep much, right? You see 10 a.m. open higher, doesn't sweep much on the downside, right? You see Russell struggling to go higher. It's like I would rather short this. So the ideal short would be a clean flip lower here. Let's go. Let's see what this 4-hour candle looked like. All right, there we go. All right, so this 4-hour candle closed here with a massive SMT. All right, go down. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. I'm looking for some order blocks. You don't really see much, huh? You got this 950, 955. You got this bullish candle here. I guess you got this order block right here that's forming right now. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. I want to see if we can start flipping these levels here, because then I'll just short underneath 10 a.m. with a stop up here. Give that a chance and try to target something down here like that. Let me duplicate this tab. Nice. Jump down to here. Save this. All right, yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. Can we get a nice change in the state here to move lower? And keep your eyes on that Russell, because that Russell is not playing around. You're already getting that change in the state on the Russell. 10 a.m. opens, 9:30 sweeps higher, break structure lower. 10 a.m. breaking structure lower. All right, you have this and this. Nice. So something like this makes sense. We're already underneath 10 a.m. for this setup. Yeah, so let's see what happens here, man. Starting to close underneath 10 a.m. on ES. Let's see if NASDAQ can agree. I'm thinking maybe like a 75, 80 point stop if we can get up under it, right? So you can see the resistance here. See this 10 a.m. price serving as support for higher. See it clear as day. All right. So a strong close underneath here. I'll probably try that. If it fails to go lower, I don't want to be buying it at the highs. So the buys are gonna go without me today. It's that simple. The buys will go without me. How many points would how many contracts would a 75? boom, boom. 70, 80 point stop would be about 3 or 4 contracts, 3 contracts. All right. So yeah, that's the game plan. Maybe we get like a sweep up here and then a dump. But I love the Russell right now. The Russell's giving you the heads up. I don't want to see the Russell get too bearish though, because if it starts tapping into these areas, this could pivot and try and turn around. And like I said, if it does want to be bullish, you just let it go, because you don't want to buy the top. It's just not good trading. And I'm looking around on YouTube. Nobody else is in the trade either. You can just feel that sense of no thank you in the air right now. It's trying to offer you these buys. Like, I don't want to buy this. Maybe ES and NASDAQ take out this previous daily high. It's super close on NASDAQ. Maybe we get that sweep and then that dump. I really want to keep an eye on the Russell, because it looks like the Russell is probably going to do the selling for us. Yeah. The Russell's probably going to tap into one of these levels and then be bullish. But I don't want to see that. All right, here we go. Come on. Dump this baby, man. Dump this bad boy. 80 point stop looks beautiful. Then you can just literally, really, you can target whatever. Because we've already tapped into 6 a.m., I would assume that maybe we drive down to this level here, 9:30. You know? Boom, boom, boom. That would be the protocol. If these levels hold, I'm looking to short it down to this 9:30 price from yesterday, 9:30 open from yesterday, or to this essentially this London low down here. All right, starting to see that weakness at the highs. However, the Russell is pretty much so far ahead that it's like that's where the SMTs can come into play. The Russell could sweep out everything, and then the other charts feel no reason to go short now. It's a strange game, bro. Like, I don't know. I really don't know how they wired these charts to be so interesting and intricate, but that's really how it works. These charts are working together behind the scenes to reach certain objectives. And once those objectives are hit, all four, if you include the Dow Jones, they all react and correspond to it. You know what I mean? They know. Somehow they're tied together. But I love that price is holding this right now. This level right here is what's catching my attention. Look how beautiful it's rejecting this. I want to see it break. And if you look, ES is already breaking that same area. So this area started at 932. Well, I guess it's not breaking it. 932 is still here. Yeah, you can still see it holding here. Still hasn't broken it either. If you get more specific, like down in this area here, these wicks, price is holding nicely. Uh-oh, Tanya just went long. I mean, I get it if you're okay with buying the top, but you guys know me. I think that's just ridiculous. Do not buy the top unless you want to see your account drop. It's really just pointless to do that. Like, the risk to reward in those scenarios is terrible. There's so much more risk than reward. Yeah, this level's about to get hit. If we zoom in, let's see, where was that last down close candle right here? So this was that last attempt to go lower before skyrocketing higher. And then you even retest this one. So you got 2 candles here that show some good bullish rejection. And look at where Russell's about to tap into. Oh, we're already tapping into it. Look at it, bro. All right, here we go. There goes that selling pressure, right? Let's see if this actually breaks. I don't think it's going to, bro. I think you're about to get, look at this. We have, this is what I think is about to happen. I think it's about to go bullish because of how weak Russell is. I think Russell's going to just do the dirty work for the shorts. And then this is going to try to flip bullish. You get this change in the state here, right? You get 10 a.m. doesn't sweep these highs. That's the red flag right there. 10 a.m. should have swept something if it was going to flip. It didn't, right? So now you're getting this tap back into this area. I think this this order block right here is going to be the reason we go higher. Watch. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to erase this red box. If this order block holds and we start to flip, I'm going to go higher. I'm going to look for buys. We have this change in the state here as well. Tapping back into that 10 a.m. price. Price is just refusing to go lower. We got SMT off of that order block here. But if we start to break here, I'm going to short the snot out of this. This is the game plan. Yeah, if this area refuses to break, and then that 2-minute order block here refuses to break, then I'm going to long it. But if it does, then I know what time it is. But I don't think it's going to. It's looking like Russell's probably going to give that push higher. So that's what I would need to see. I would need to see this literally start getting back above 10 a.m. and then I'll be happy to buy it. That changes things, right? Now you're not really buying the top because you waited for the manipulation. Here's your manipulation. And now you're anticipating that price gave you an attempt to go lower and failed, telling you that it really wants higher instead. That's a completely different trade than just buying it before anything happens and hoping that you don't get stopped out. Completely different trade. Now, I don't think this is considered buying the top. I think this is buying after the manipulation, and this may skyrocket, and it looks like it is. Hold on, let's see here. See if we can get a displacement. There we go. I'm looking for a 1-minute bullish gap off of this. What happened to my order block? Yeah, I'm looking for a 1-minute bullish gap here. See if we get it. And then a flip back above 10 a.m. I like it. I'll try it. Let's see if we get it. Russell showing any life? Not really. All right, we might get this gap here, but we got about 30 seconds left. Let's see. Nope, no gap. No gap there. Keeping my eyes on this 5-minute level here, because if we fail and continue to fail to go higher, it's going to crash. Got this order block right here. Got a nice strong boom. Yeah, we need another strong 5-minute close. Yeah, this could be vicious, like a dirty short. Yeah. Yeah, kid. Let's see. Good job, NASDAQ. That's what you want to see. So look at this. This is interesting. ES over here, 10 a.m. does take this high, but the micro, it doesn't. Look, 10 a.m. leaves an equal high, but that right there, that's all I need to see. We do sweep at 10 a.m. Yeah, I need to see a strong close underneath here on the 5-minute, guys, and I'm gonna short this. Russell still weak? Yeah, I like it. So what are we seeing at the top here? 10 a.m. changing the state. No change in the state on the NASDAQ yet, though. Where's 10 a.m.? You see what I mean? Like, I'm looking for that closure through maybe the Real NASDAQ gives you that. No, not yet. So ES gives it to you, but NASDAQ hasn't given you that bearish change in the state, right? You see this 2 consecutive candle move, fail. Yeah, you see prices underneath 10 a.m. All right, there we go. Maybe that counts. Yeah, this counts as your first change in the state here. There it is. Right. Changing the state, boom, tap into it. Bearish gap. Yeah, you can see. ES is giving you some bearish structure here. Look at this bearish gap hold right now. We tap into this bearish gap, and you want to see price start breaking lows. This low right here matters. You need to see this bearish gap that price is sitting in, send price through this low to initiate that downtrend. All right, and there we go. We're starting to see it. Yeah, this should be it right here. This should be it right here. I'm looking for this next candle right here to close. I'm gonna short it. We got 3 minutes left in this 5-minute candle. Yeah, if we get a nice strong close here. Oh, don't run away. Look at NASDAQ go. It just ran. Oh, all right. I might have to short ES, man. Dang, that sucks. 10-point stop is how many contracts? No, not 22. Clear 5, 10. All right. Oh, look at it. It's trying to run, kid. Don't do me like that. We finally got a change in the state here. No retest, no nothing. That's a red flag. I need a retest, bro. So I know that it's not scamming. ES did just breach that low too. Let's see if we get a retest. I feel like this previous daily high has to give you a push higher, bro. Something. 2 a.m. price has to give you a push higher, being that we haven't retested anything up here. It has to. If it does, that's perfect. We get to be patient here. But I like the shorts. I like the shorts. I like the shorts. 5-minute chart, order block, boom. Yeah, I like the short. 2 minutes left in this candle, perfect. Perfect. If I do short here, it's gonna be something like this. Stop above these candles here, like 80 points, like we mentioned. And then just hope for a dump ski. There we go, getting that pullback. All right, where's that order block? You see all of this up here. It doesn't have to retest it because ES is retesting this. We already retested that change in the state on ES. But what you want to see is some sort of gap fill on the 1 minute that holds and then continues lower. But what I'll probably do is I'll probably just end up shorting this 5-minute closure because we're starting to see this, remember this level here, this 930 level. Starting to see the closure through. And we're starting to see the same over here on the NASDAQ. There we go. Good job. It's retesting now. Oh, that's a good, healthy pullback. Oh, that's a healthy pullback because ES is no longer closing through here now. Oh, there we go. All right. Game on. I can see what's happening here. If ES fails to break this order block, like we were saying, with that nasty wick, and then we see the same thing over here on NASDAQ where they just try to bounce higher, and then you see the Russell bouncing off of this, the bullish idea comes right back into play. And I'm watching this level specifically. So we're retesting this. This is going to be the key level here. If we're bullish, it's going to just rip through this right now. So I'm going to erase this. All right. If we respect this level, bro. Oh, 5-minute candle close yet? It's about to in 13 seconds. Yeah. I think this might do it. So what I'm going to do is if we breach this low, again, I'm going to short it. That's how I'll do it. We have this bearish gap here. I want to see if price actually goes short or not. If so, I can catch a late entry, put my stop above that midnight price, and we should be able to catch a decent move. Like a 90-point stop. 95. And it's really about the short too. We're gonna break this low again. You gotta be careful, bro. You gotta be careful. Just because it's a bearish gap doesn't mean it's gonna continue. And the one thing I like to wait for is for that bearish gap to actually show new lows, because there's going to be times where it does this and it fails to take that low and just goes the opposite way. But this is your area of interest. You got the bearish gap, you got the drive into the bearish gap, you got the change in the state, you got 10 a.m. price sitting inside of there. Beautiful pivot point here. And you have price retesting this order block right here and rejecting it beautifully right now, right? So if price does continue underneath this previous daily high, then that's telling me, oh yeah, let's short this baby. If price fails to continue here, that's telling me any move above here, I'm long. No question. No question. All right. It's looking pretty weak though. Based on that 10 a.m. move where we saw 10 a.m. sweep this high on the ES here, that was suspicious, right? 10 a.m. opens up, sweeps all these highs, and then you get that shift. That makes me think that the shorts are probably going to print here. But you got the Russell doing all the damage on the shorts, bro. It's already sweeping out everything. So now I got to be careful with the short. And as you can see, the shorts are fighting right now. They're not really doing too much. It's trying, but it's still up in the air. Still up in the air. No trades for me yet, man. Good patience, bro. It's only 10:27, but it's looking bearish. If I had to say, I would prefer the short, right? What happened on my artwork? Oh, MES. Oh, that's why. This is where it's at. MES. All right, cool. And I'm loving how this area is still holding. Yeah, there it is. Good job. All right, yeah. I think we're going to go buy this, guys. I'm just going to get back above 10 a.m. here. If it does, I'm longing ES. Right? That's the proper set. I want to say, yeah. Long ES, previous daily high holding. So this level right here cannot break if we're bearish. And there it is, breaking it right now. Let's go. Uh-oh. Not yet, but it's almost there. I'm gonna long it above there. Where do you put your stop, bro? You might have to have a fat stop loss. Might have to have a juicy stop today. There it is. All right. So a strong close through here. We should get a pullback, making this an easy idea. And I like to wait for the pullback because it helps you put your stop loss. So like, for example, if you got in right now, you have to put your stop down here. But if you wait for the pullback and you see price start to run, then you're like, all right, this could be where I could put my stop now. This could be my short-term level. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, this is going to be my trade. Russell showing life as well. I'm going to get in after a breach of this high because this gap could fail. I'm anticipating it to hold, but if it taps into it and we make a new high, I'm just going to put my order here right now, guys. I'm not even going to waste any time. Create limit. We're going to go with I want to say 10. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we're chilling. We can go like a 13 contract trade. Put your stop underneath this swing low here. And then once it turns around here, I am going in on it. Only if it turns, right? So now we can just start erasing this. 13 contracts. I need to see a breach and a breakout. And I would try it. A breach and a breakout. So we tap into here ever so beautifully. I could try to long it underneath 10 a.m., but it's just not worth the resistance. Just wait for it to do whatever it wants to do in here, because if this fails, then I'm chilling, right? I'm not in the trade yet. But if it holds, it's telling me I'm gonna buy that on the breakout here. So I'll just, yeah, like I said, I'll just put my order right here. It looks like it's gonna go 76.03. $76.03. Looking for this gap right here to hold, because we've invalidated this bearish area with a strong close through. However, if you look on the lower time frame, like the 2 minute, 5 minute, we haven't broken anything. So that's why I'm being patient here. This is just a 1 minute invalidation right now. And in order for this to work, you need to see this bullish gap hold up with no hesitation. You don't want to see it get blasted. Changes the entire narrative here. What's happening over here? Look at that, yeah. See, Russell already giving it to you as well. We flipped this gap that gave you that sell-off, close back above it, pull back once, makes a new high, pushing back towards 10 a.m. Yeah, guys, look at NASDAQ flipping back above 10 a.m., flipping back above midnight. Yeah, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if this rips. I wouldn't be surprised if this flies. I wouldn't be surprised. What time is it? 10:32. I don't know what to target though. That's a completely different ball game. Let's see if there's any daily candle highs over here. Oh. Do you see this? What just happened? What just happened? No way, bro. What just happened, bro? All right, I'm out of here.
What just happened?
I don't know what just happened, man. It just killed. It just killed the entire idea. Now I can't even trade this. Look at this. What just happened? What just happened, guys? Come on, I'm looking at Financial Juice and it just blacked out. There's nothing on the Financial Juice. Cancel this. Yeah, I'm out of here before this gets hectic. What just happened? What just happened? There's no way that just happened, bro. There is no way that just happened. There's no way. What was that? Financial Juice just went. Oh wait, it says Trump and Iran have agreed to talks, but United States has stated to them in no uncertain terms that ceasefire is over. So is that what it is? Something about ceasefire. Yeah, that is unbelievable though. Like, bro, I'm sitting here waiting on a short, and now I think that's why it looks like something about the war caused that drop. But look at how it just stops right here at the 2 a.m. price. Like it's just not really. What? Bro, that's so lame. I wanted this short. And now it makes sense why the market was just going pity pat in this area. It's like they knew something big was about to happen. And Financial Juice, like literally, like look at the screen. Look, this is what I'm seeing on Financial Juice. The whole page just went blank, and there's just one alert across the top. Look at this. Good job. But yeah, I'm out of here, guys. That right there just kind of ruined everything. And I don't even know what's happening. Look at this. Everything's delayed. It says breaking Trump have agreed to talks with Iran, but United States have stated to them in no uncertain terms that ceasefire is over. I don't know what that means, bro. All I know is that's ridiculous. What did Russell hit? Oh, Russell tapped 6 a.m. shows nothing but bullishness. This is trash. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here because technically you probably could short this though, looking at the NASDAQ, but it's just you don't know why it just did that. So it's like, don't even play around with this because this could try to go back bullish. It just swept all these lows with a flash crash. If it wanted to go higher, it could. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's get out of here. I'm out of here, guys. That was a how many points was it on NASDAQ? 280 point flash crash. And okay, there it is. All right. Financial Juice is back up. It says the ceasefire is over. Is that bad? Trump have agreed to Iran talks. The Islamic Republic of Iran have access to continue talks. We have agreed to do so, but the United States has stated to them in no certain terms, ceasefire is over. So that's bearish, right? That means short this. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. What do we get? 2 minute change in the state. Tap into it. You get this massive bearish gap here. You get the 10 a.m. confirmation. You get the order. Yeah, bro, this is bearish. How would you do that, though? How would you play the short on that? You would need to see this gap hold. If we retest this level here, this 930, this previous weekly, we retest in here and then start to crash again, fall back underneath 930, just take a massive stop and hold your short for the rest of the day, all the way back to the weekly open. There's no way this is bullish, right? That's what I'm looking at. We were already considering shorts off of the structure that was provided. And then we just got extremely bearish news from Trump saying that the markets, not the markets, that the war pretty much is back in full effect. No more ceasefire, meaning that Iran is in trouble if they keep up the antics. Yeah, a sharp move back under 930. I wouldn't be against like a super wide stop on the shorts. It's low risk, wide stop. Go like half risk. 2 micros. Yep. And short this bad baby. It's retesting all the bearish structure, rejecting it. Yeah. A move back underneath midnight, a move back underneath this 930. Yeah, it's worth a jab. 140 point stop. You can even go 1 micro. How much is 1 micro? Yeah, like 300 bucks. Because this could dump for the rest of the day. If it's not scamming, right? I'm looking at it and I'm like, bro, this is bearish, bro. Let's see what everyone else is doing. Look, yeah, everyone's thinking about shorting too. I think Tanya was in a buy when that thing shorted. That's crazy. She was, yeah. And I think that was her second buy. Or was it the first one? I don't know. Oh, yeah, it was her second buy. That's crazy. That is cray-cray. That is cray-cray. There goes that turn. There's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way this is bullish. If it is bullish, then it was just a scam all along. But a move back under 930, bro, I'm gonna try that short, and I won't even do that wide of a stop. I'll do like 120 points, put my stop above midnight, risk about 250 bucks, and walk away. Go play my video game or something. What's up with the options? Today might be a good options day. Put on a trade and walk away. Yeah, I want to see price get back underneath that 930 open. There it is. Good job. Yeah, let's see. 5-minute candle. Yeah. Because I would be in a short right now, even if the news wasn't, you know, what it was. So that news should just dump price, bro. But that dump, bro, that was scary. That was scary. And it's like, dang, is it over? Or does this wick serve as a drawn liquidity, like a news wick, a data low? That's the lame part, bro. Trading can be so lame. This could literally just refuse to pay the sellers because everyone's thinking the same thing I'm thinking right now. There's no way this could go higher. And then that's when it just goes way higher. That's when it does it. That's insanity. So was it 1040? All right, yeah, so I'll stay on for this next macro and then I'm out of here. If it doesn't want to short by then, I'm out of here. But realistically, it's still early. Everything that's bearish has pretty much presented itself. The only downside is we did sweep out a lot of these lows that I was going to target as my TP. Literally, I had this as my TP, guys. You remember me saying that. If we could break lower, I wanted to short after that 930 break down to these lows for 120 points. That was the play. But it flash crashed with that Trump tweet. So now the question is, does it continue or does this serve as the sweep and then try to go higher? I think it just goes lower, bro, if you ask me, man. 120 points. That's my trade right there. If it goes lower, I'm in that. If not, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. So yeah, I'm going to set alerts here and see what happens because now it's just magically bullish. It's crazy. All right, short. Two shorties. Stop up here. TP way down. Well, at least down here. Bro, can't even call a timeout. Stupid game, bro. All right, let's see if that plays out. I'm on my game, so I'm not even watching this. But the shorts, right? Gotta be. So keep your eyes on that 6 a.m. price. If we can't get through that 6 a.m. price, I'm probably just gonna get out of here and just have a good day. Cause it's taking too long to do nothing. You know what I mean? It's opening the door for that random pop. And I don't want to be involved in that. So definitely want to see price just get away from that. If it takes too long, like I said, this macro right here is what I'm waiting for. 1050 macro is in place. So honestly, I think I might be done. Might be done. We'll see. Give it like 10 minutes. All right, so yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill a lot of these contracts right now. Well, not. I'm gonna kill half of them. I'm gonna buy that. That way, I don't care enough, and I'm only doing 200 bucks here, and the rest is whatever. Hey, where you going here? Starting it?
It's me, Tracy. It's me. It's me, Tracy.
I did not mean to do that, bro. I don't know if I should be playing. I did not mean to do that. I swear. I just keep doing it wrong. Nope.
Wait, the Spider-Man game. So I actually beat the end. I did beat it. Not with the bomb, just with the square. It's just very fun. Like I beat the whole game. If you press the X, you get to go like and press that and I actually beat the game, the Spider-Man game, and show the other game. So the Miles one is the first one. Spider-Man 2 is the second one.
Yep.
And the other Spider-Man is the third. So one of the one is the first one. And the third one was Spider-Man only. It's the third one.
Yes, sir. There we go. Now we get a Teddy right here. We got a chance, man. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I don't even care to watch this. Excuse me. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere. So I'm gonna just wrap this up. You see how Price is playing around these timestamps here? That's the red flag for me. I'll just take a little paper cut there and get out of it. All right. And I am out of here. You guys take care. Enjoy your weekend. Great trading week. This isn't really worth much action, so I'm out of here, guys. Remove all these drawings and call it a day, fam. All right. You guys take care. Be safe. God bless as always. I'll catch you guys on Monday.